Love+Art equals wellness. I'm Precious Mother Love. This is another part of the Heart Happy Hour. First episode of the 4th season. Ashe. What a wonderful way that this has gone for me. I am on the waves, and it is about to do some storming. I felt it in the air. I smelt it. What I smelled was frosty, pregnant air. I could feel the frost in the air, but I knew that the precipitation would be coming. Right after I said that, it started like seconds after I said that. And so it made me think that the air being pregnant with potential could also benefit with some verbalizing of some feelings I was having at the time. So the feelings I was having at the time, I vocalized them. And I got into the feeling. Oh my God, I started crying. I was so grateful for having accomplished, achieved, and materialized the blessings that were pouring forth from my mouth and exiting through the vortex that I am giving the soul access and control over. So, I mean, someone could tell me what to say, but I'm in control of what I say. And being that I am in control of what I say, and that I know that if I put the feeling energy into it, and it also, being that the air is pregnant with water, with humidity, with all kinds of other stuff in with it, stuff you don't see, but the vibrations, the vibe, the frequency, all that energy is available for me to direct into what I anticipate, what I intend, what I alchemize from this vortex as it points in the direction that I choose to go, that I choose to speak, that I choose to believe, that I choose to feel, that I choose to know, that I choose to inhale the chi and exhale into the feeling of it, into the vocalization of it. And so I might as well say the magnitude was higher than I could ever actually facilitate otherwise than the magic that would materialize from pregnant, precipitative, energy-packed, icy frosty. I don't know if the icy frosty has anything to do with it, but it does emulate what you might feel when you get into space. So maybe some of that space has slipped into our atmosphere. So, I'm pulling on all of the things that I am adding as ingredients to fortify the feeling, the energy the frequency that I am deciding to be. So again, One Love and Wellness. I normally start with some music. I may just record that later and decide to do an episode break. Season 4 is going to go. I'm going to be more real, more into the moment, more mindful. 2023, OMG, it is the year that I decide new ways of being and new ways of doing things. So that if I make new choices and I decide, to do something in a new way, I can expect different results. And I can intend those results to be not only unexpected, but to be blessed, reflected. So I am in the mindset and of the moment that deciding to go live right now and to record it is going to go over really, really well. Because what can I do other than speak my truth, other than be who I am in this very second, in this very moment, and capture it, L-I-V-E. And this guy just drives over, cuts in front of me. He is making me slow down and pay more attention. I was already paying attention. I saw him. It did not startle me. It just is like, you know, my observation is like, fact, this guy just scooted his honey right over and right into the midst of between myself and this other guy. It was a very short spot. So, you know, but he went over and went into the next lane and proceeded from there. So he removed himself. He, I guess, you know, that is a turn-only lane, and he wanted to move from over there to over there. And that's what we have to do when we change our mind. We have to pick our process. Now, he could have went and got off at this exit and went around and turned around. But no, he did like I do. When it's abrupt and that change needs to happen right now, I find a way to do it in the moment and let it happen, let it be. And I am very safe, baby. So I know how to manipulate the energy and make it zip, zam, zoom, zap, zow, into whatever is needed at the second, at the moment, at the time. At the tone, the time will be, as I said, it was about to be some snow. So I'm going to have to take a look, and I'll tell you in a moment what sorts of things were going on in our atmosphere. I know the month of February, we were supposedly able to see Jupiter, Mars, and Venus in the skies. And I believe, I'm not certain, I believe I may have observed what they're touting as those things, or hoping that you decide that those things are it. But I believe I'm observing 2 space stations, or perhaps they are satellites that have lights and you can see them at night. I don't know, but I do know there was some things that were stable. I mean, and what I had heard, I was in the car leaving the beach, which, you know, what a difference a day makes. Day before yesterday was 80 degrees out, and, you know, I love DC. In DC, you can have all 4 seasons in 1 month, and possibly in 4 days. And in some cases, in 1 day, you may have 2 or more, you know, which I've heard of other places like Arizona, Colorado, and some other places. They may end up having 2-3 seasons in 1 day. You know, wake up and, you know, to some snow, which the sun comes out and melts it away, which is warm enough for you to wear some shorts, which allows you to do some other cooler evening activities, and then you might be right back to snow. So, hey. But this is the case in DC today. 2 days ago, which was on Wednesday, we went and visited a beautiful beach park. And I love Maryland. Maryland has so many beautiful, you know, beach parks. You know, formerly in my youth, I worked for DC Parks and Recreation for some years. I worked for National Park Service, Department of Interior, at the main interior, at the headquarter office for some years. I also worked for Maryland National Capital Park and Planning for some years. So, you know, me loving the parks, hey, that's all I can say is that I grew up knowing what I love and doing what I love. And I'm back to doing it again. I come up to the beach. This is where we're sitting. The land of la 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 la. The rainbow. I'm in the DMV, but I am back and forth to, you know, up and down this coast. I am open to traveling, I was going to say globally, and at the same time, universally came to mind, because yes, I do want a seat on a shuttle, on a ride in the sky. Yes, I do. I would like to be able to travel into the galaxies. I would not object to traveling in that way. I would not even object to, and I believe I have met some visitors from the space outside of this planet. Outer space, whatever. you know, and I have gone places where I feel, you know, I've done astral projection, and I feel that it was into other dimensions, other spaces, other places, other planets. I'm not certain, I'm not sure. I do know that it is not here. But I also, you know, not only in my dreams, not only in my lucid dreams, not only in my astral projection, astral travel, that, you know, I do something that's similar to, and I don't know if it was Tesla or Einstein, but one of them, I had heard a story of the thing that they do is they have, you know, some balls that's in their hand, and so when they're going to sleep, you know, they drop the ball and they recognize they've gone to sleep, so they're able to wake back up and stay within that zone of, you know, the gateway. And so recently, speaking of the gateway, what a segue. That gets you to the gateway, that helps you to stay at the cusp of where you would be, you know, just at the edge of your lucid dream, that would allow you to impregnate the ethers. So with the feeling, with the breath, with tapping into your chakras, with getting your blood flowing, with the breath. The breath is the biggest part of it. That's the start of it. That's the end of it. That whole, we get your chi involved, and it has absolutely manifested in my life over and over and over. And so, and it can, and it doesn't have to, but it can involve things like candles or the sun, or incense, you know, whatever allows you to have your sacred space. I mean, you know, you can do a condensed, shortened version of it at some point if you ever decide that you would like to do it when you're on the road, or even when the conditions aren't all the same for you. But whatever the case is, the alchemy comes from not only having the feelings, but, you know, we also have water, that we speak into the water. And so I'll show you a snip from one of our classes, and that will give you a better idea. One love. And if you would,
all right, let's do it.
If you would, I'm going to start the music. You guys going to need to move, give yourself some space. You want your feet to tap. You want to tap your head. You want to move your arms. You want to wiggle your body. Anything that gets you your blood flowing. And then when you sit down, you will definitely feel it. Let it flow in and out. Let's go. Ooh. Stomping my feet. Art equals wellness. One level wellness. We are back. So, but where we left off, I hope you enjoyed the segment of introducing you to the Gateway Meditation. It has really, really brightened my sector, my corner, my place, my universe. And I am seeing that I enjoy spreading the love and sharing the love and showing what works and what helps me. So I hope that you will also find the same attributes for you. So next, we talked about the space shuttles, and I will post whatever space shuttle information that I find for today, which is February 24th, 2023. So it's 02/24/23. any case, today I'm certain I am near a military base. I am certain that there are some contributing factors to what's going on with our atmosphere scientifically. I'll leave it at that. But in addition, and I did mention that it was 80 degrees the other day, and while I was in the store, someone else made that same comment. I can't believe it was 70 to 80 degrees just 2 days ago. Well, this is the upper East Coast, and yes, and just above the Mason-Dixon line. I don't know for sure how they gauge that line, but DC has always been included in above the Mason-Dixon line. So on this side of things, the weather can be quirky, So I grew up with it, and I believe that is one of the reasons why our immunity here in DC, because we can adapt and adjust at the drop of a dime, because we know that our weather is going to be cuckoo for caca sometimes. Not always predictable, not always expected, and that will keep your immune system on its toes. It definitely, I feel that myself. I feel that. But I also want to speak about something else I feel. And I want to talk about the eyes. The eyes have it. Feelings. What do your eyes feel? Sometimes your eyes get so welled up that they actually leak a liquid. Sometimes from good things, and sometimes from not so good things. But from the good things, let's say, like if you, and I'm not sure if it's because the whole body feels it or because the eyes see it, because there are times when your eyes see something and you're just like, oh, let me close my eyes. I don't want to see that because it's harsh, or it has some very cruel things going on or something like that. But let's just say the eyes feel certain things. Like if the light is too bright, the eyes will adjust, the pupil will appear to shrink, or depending at night, it will the aperture of the pupil or the eyes will adjust according to the light. Let me just say that however much light in and light out, it will feel overexposed. If it is too much or too little, it will strain and stress. Either way, it will have a feeling. It will feel a certain way. So the eyes have it, right? So soft on the eyes. There are times when we are cold outside, the eyes get cold. There are times when your eyes must adjust and close very quickly because something is coming at it. There are times when the eye must adjust because of the distance, which, by the way, the distance, my daughter, she had, what do you call those things? Not cataracts. She had in both of her eyes a thing that I don't want to even recall the name of it. And in any case, it was related to the muscles in the eyes. The muscles had, it was recommended to wear glasses. There was a lot of adjustments to the prescription as it declined. But I was at the place where I was getting to know the spirit energy in myself, and I did not listen to what the physician said. What the physician had said was that it's going to get worse, it's never going to get better, and this, that, and the other negative, spitting foul stuff out the mouth. So in my opinion, what I was hearing was, go do your own research, you can get over this, everything in the body can be healed. This is when I was just getting into Dr. Sabi, and at that point he was still alive. But what I was looking at was that if the eye is a muscle, This is, you know, so we started eating everything that was healthy for the eyes. And we started doing eye workouts. You know, we start riding down the highway, and as we got closer to the sign, or we were just far enough from it, I'd say, read that sign. And because we traveled the Beltway every day, I did it every day for about a year, until finally glasses came off. Haven't needed glasses since, because the eye exercises are continuing, because that was a routine and a practice that had begun. And even if it doesn't get done on a regular basis, there is the knowledge of, let me tune back up. Just like when you have a membership to a gym or whatever, sometimes you slack off and then you pick back up, and then, you know, you get back into a pretty good shape quicker than those who never did the kind of things that you do. So I recommend, if you have stigma, not sty, but a stigma. This is what they were saying. You know, both eyes, da da da, bad news. Nobody wants to hear that, and nobody's listening to that. Not in my team, not on my team. Those that know that what you eat. In my family, we grew up knowing that what you ingest, what you eat, I'm backing up, I'm heading to the house, is the biggest factor of how your body responds to what's going on, how you treat it, and what you do to keep it in the best possible shape. So I'm gonna put you on pause, back it on up, and pick up in a hot second. One Love and Wellness. Love plus art equals wellness. Peace and positive wellness. Again, another episode of my highway. This is the return home, and I'm gonna kick it in and make it an extended third part to, or however many parts to, Heart Happy Hour, first episode, fourth season. So we are kicking it into high gear, putting more on the table, some more meat and potatoes to go with this meal. So the last thing I recall talking about had to do with feeling in the eyes, and, you know, I guess I got a little weepy and I experienced some pain, and I wanted to share that with you guys as to, you know, what the eyes actually can get the sensitivity of feeling. And now I want to go to the place of, what do you feel when you get to your third eye recognition? You know, these tools are sending signals, sensing the vibration and the frequency. Everything is giving off a frequency. If we are living in the matrix, then this is just like the numbers and the zeros and the ones are, you know, coming down, and we as a human interpretational device are able to recognize certain, you know, all the frequencies that require us to be able to indicate to the brain the visual activity is of whatever it is. And that is, in this case, I am on the highway and I am almost home. I'm about 20 minutes from my ETA to home base, at which I will be entering the vehicle, and I will be back on the road to another location not long after I get to that, my home base. So, but in any case, so we are feeling with all, you know, the skin feels, all of our senses are electronic emissions that are being picked up and interpreted through the various organs. So the ear system has a, you know, the drum that senses things, and it, you know, as a receptor, signals throughout whatever the, you know, because we feel the vibration of the music, you know, every molecule, every electron, proton, and neutron in us has a frequency and a vibration. So we are tuned in as well as can be tuned into. I don't know how else to say that we're a receptor of information and we are emitting information at the same time. So the emanations that are coming from all of the minute operators or operatives that are cooperating together. So all those things, you know, we are a fine-tuned machine, or we have, this vessel is very, I will try to chase that. This vessel is high, One Love and Wellness. This vessel is me. I am a very vibrant energy, and I know I am felt as soon as I get to, or just before I arrive. I mean, I am so well received in most places where I go. I believe that I change the vibration of the whole area that I'm in, because I have fine-tuned, for years and years, since the age of 15, all of these vision board, dream lists, bucket lists, whatever they are, all of those things, I can do it. Yes, I can. I can be it. Yes, I can. Yes, I am. I, have been an awesome cheerleader for my achievements and accomplishments, to have, at the levels that I have achieved and accomplished. I mean, I'm following behind some footsteps of some folks that have stomped on some pretty big ground, some big wigs in, my family, things that are named after them, things that are, all kinds of recognition through my lineage, and my connections to major historical activities, which, I'm a part of some major historical activity myself. So, that my vibration is very high on the level of thinking outside the box to achieve, by all means, the potential, whatever the necessary. So, okay, enough of that. Back to the sensitivities. Okay, so we have our physical ears, and then we have our, we'll say, spiritual ears. And I believe that just the same way a dog has a hearing spectrum that's different from ours, just the same that animals have, insects, other beings have, but they can sense things at higher or lower, or even, multiple frequencies, like, for instance, to be able to do some of the things that I have done. I have walked through walls, accompanied and unaccompanied. So in that, my experience was breaking through one dimension into another. I have seen things, I have heard things, I have been witness to. I have many witnesses that have been with me through these episodes and events over the years. I recently saw a photograph of myself at the age of 5. I don't know if I spoke of this before, but that photograph was the room that I was in the first time that I ever walked through the walls at 5 years old. I did the little scientific experiment to make sure that it was something that that was believable even to myself. I had to prove it to myself, and that was, I took a packet of barrettes for your hair with me. And I said, I'm going to leave it behind. And if I leave it behind, this is a 5-year-old mind, right? If I leave it behind and I come back with nothing in my hand, then I know I've been somewhere. And I did that. And then I also have had the reverse happen, where I go and I take something back with me. In one case, it was watch my voice. Because I'm excited. In one case, it was a necklace, a tricolored necklace, and I have a witness to that. My daughter even recalls that, which I did not recall until we spoke recently, and she reminded me of some of the things that she remembers, because I reminded her of the time that she and I went through a Harry Potter walk through the walls experience into another dimension. She and I went together, and that was with Charlie. Now, Charlie, that's a whole episode. If you can watch that episode, 2 or 3 episodes it took for me to get through the whole stories of him. And there's still more to it, because as I'm thinking back on him, I'm wondering, was he from another planet? Was he an alien? Was he? That is the possibility, because of it wasn't what I had considered before. But when I saw him, when his cloak dropped, when I was able to see what was behind the physical facade, it was a huge beast, like big mouth, snout, dripping, drooling, snarling, something like what I had seen on Grimm before, like when I forget the lead guy, one of the Grimm guys, his last name is Grimm or something like that. But anyway, when he walks past these people, and this is what happened as I walked past him, and this is not, I had not seen that show before I saw this. Is once I saw the show, I recognized what that was. And again, are we saying that those beings, which are able to cloak themselves and manipulate energies and dimensions and frequencies and whatever it is that they are able to, shapeshift and morph into, and whatever it is that they're able to use to control that kind of emanation from their person, their vessel, whatever their being, are they from another place? I don't know. That kind of, there's a real good possibility in my mind. In my mind, oh, it's starting to drizzle. In my mind, it is really, I've seen some otherworldly things as well, which I know was otherworldly. So now I've got to draw some other lines and connect the dots to that, to those, some of the other events that have happened, including that, because, in my mind is, when we talk about getting into the third eye, my third eye just opened up, like brilliantly wide. From here to here, I felt it actually start to tune in, and now it's not throbbing the way it was, but it was throbbing. But because I started, so, and that's what happens, especially when you astral travel and that kind of thing, is when you come to the realization of it, which is something I probably shouldn't do much of while I'm driving, right? But it's something that when you start thinking about it, it's as soon as you get the mind involved, as soon as you start having to mentalize it and start to try to make some any kind of sense of it, that's when that, these senses cannot comprehend that. That's not the place where we're able to, you can. There are people, and maybe I'm not there yet. Maybe I've got to get there. Maybe while I'm driving, I'll be able to get to that place. But this is real time, it happening. It is open. It feels good. It is like a light bulb in the middle of my head is both sending and receiving signals. There's the throb and the cycle. So in any case, one, love and wellness. Ashe, beautiful episode for the first episode of season 4. Ashe, heart, happy hour. And I'm Precious Mother Love. Thank you for riding along with me. You've been in the front seat right along with me for this whole ride. I appreciate you jumping in and out of these conversations with me. I am at the home front exit, about to take the last exit that I would be taking just before I arrive to my HOME base, my home base. And I don't know if you hear the rain at all. I can't change let's see. You see the rain? It's coming down now. It's not coming down very fast, but hope you didn't mind that crazy camera action right quick. But hopefully I can play another song for you on the way out. And one love and wellness. Peace.